Alright, so welcome back. Hoping you're having a fabulous day. Hoping everything's been going pretty well. Today I wanted to talk about the bird, break it down real quick. A lot of people have been asking me like some solid teams, okay? I've made a lot of bird videos recently because a lot of people have been asking me, A, Demonic Beast is hard. Can I have some help beating it? I tried my best to release a bunch of different formats of teams, but I wanted to dedicate one video, basically, to team building and some teams you can just go and run. Super simple, right? So today, I'm going to jump into it. I'm going to break it down as much as I can, the bird here. Again, if you want more videos for the deer and skull and hottie, I still have those recorded. I never actually dropped them. I'm supposed to be dropping them, but just my uploads have been just weird of where my timings and all that, so I'll get everything sorted out there. But again, today, we're talking about the bird. If you're new to the channel, like, subscribe, it helps out a ton. Let's talk about this. Let's jump into it. So jumping in here to the set team area, let's talk about team building. This is the team that I last recorded the video on, and I told you that I ran a different team, or different basic team, right? I swapped out Gother for Green Arthur, the more free-to-play option, okay? I later did get Gother, I had him, and I was like, you know what? People been telling me to try him, I tried it. This, I would say, is probably the fastest team. There could be one out there that I don't know of that is somewhat faster. I got like a 12-minute run, so I recorded the video. That was like my first try at it, and it was 12 minutes and like 40 seconds, something like that, right? It was around 13 minutes, okay? Let's push it, round it up, whatever. That's counting loading times and all of that. 13 minutes for all 3 floors, loading times and all. That's what it turned out to be, which is pretty fast, okay? Afterwards, I was able to get it down to a 12-minute run. I messed up on the last part where I ulted. I shouldn't have ulted. It cut off 30 seconds extra, which shouldn't have. But yes, 12 minutes is what I got it down to. I think out of everything I've played, that is probably the fastest I've ever run it. So I will stand at that fastest team, but this is not the one you only have to run. This is how you can do it, okay? So to build a team to run on the bird, you need Magilda. That's it. You need Magilda. End of story. Her cleanse and everything is good. Yes, she has a relic, but you do not need the relic to beat the bird. You can still beat the bird regardless of the relic. The team to do that will be, if you have Escanor, you run him. If you don't have this Escanor, run the old Escanor. You need some sort of a death ultimate to beat the bird on floor 2 on the second phase because it will revive, and that death ultimate will be able to kill it again, okay? So this right here, this Escanor, or the other one, that is how you should always do it, okay? Magilda is needed, so let's just, the slots, okay? Run this Escanor, or the other Escanor. Run Magilda. Here, run someone like Brunhild, run someone like Meli, run someone like Purg Meli. Anybody that can just do a crap ton of DPS is who you need at this position, okay? Those 3 characters definitely work. And again, like, I would say that Meli and Brunhild are damn good because on the first floor you have to get to the power strike stage, okay? And to do that, you need his amplify, or you need Brunhild's power strike to get through it. Again, you're cheating to get through because you're using amplify. You don't need the power strike, but you usually do need the power strike. This is it right here. It's amplify, which is why it does so much damage just innately. It buffs you up and gets you done with it. Now, those are the 3, okay? For the 4th unit, this has to be swapped from a lot of units. Here I'm using Gother. You can also run someone like Arthur. This was originally my team because Arthur provides like a crap ton of buffs. The whole purpose to Arthur is you're using him for just mainly buffs. Look at this, like buffs, right? And because of that passive, the whole team is buffed. So again, a format of this team without this Escanor will be you go and run the old Escanor. It'll look something like this. You have this. Again, whenever you run Arthur or any like stance unit, let's say you do not have this team. So again, you're using Escanor, the old one. Most of us have this. It was given for free, 100%. This, most of us have, but if you don't, you can also swap it. Let's say you go more of this approach, okay? Definitely more free but friendly. I do think on this type of team, you should bring some sort of stance unit, and Matrona was given for free. If you have Halloween Matrona, you'd swap Arthur for that. So again, that team would kind of formulate like this. You would want to put on Tarmiel's Grace over here, because she will take damage, okay? On that second stage, you will see that the unit on the right here, whichever one it is, most likely you're going to be taunting with Matrona to survive. They're going to get wrecked. They're just going to get destroyed. Their HP is just going to drop in seconds. It always happens. My Arthur sometimes used to die because his HP gear wasn't there. You are the gear set, did all of that, and then because of that, I was able to go and like bypass it and live. So again, Red Tarmiel would be super helpful here, but this is one of the teams you definitely can run. Now again, if you don't have Brunhild, you swap this out for, as mentioned, Trader Meli, Purgatory Meli. It doesn't matter, whoever you have. Magilda is a staple that has to remain on the team. Escanor kind of works out a ton. You can also swap out for Cusack. Cusack has one, I think it's his ultimate or something like that. Something he has is like a death thing. That's what you can do to bypass that second stage. So keep that in mind. That's another unit that does work. Anybody can just do raw damage, okay? If you can run a full demon team, go run a full demon team minus Magilda, right? Go run Esterosa here. Go run Trillion Dark Meliodas here. And then for your final demon, doesn't really matter. Would Zeldris actually work out? You can run Zeldris. Not I don't think Chandler's would work out. Just, you can try Demon Team. See how that would go. Try Demon Team. That would kind of be beneficial because you have like on some of the phases you can run and just allow the encroach to happen. That's one more thing you can do. And again, nothing really stops you from running this sort of team. You recently just got Purg Melee. Most of us have it. Like, literally most of us have it. So at this point where this video is dropping, you have this. So you can run this sort of team. You have the taunt over here. You have Magilda. You have all of this. You have Escanor for the Death Ultimate. If you have the new Escanor, that's a little bit better because he does a lot more damage. And he will just be better for the reason that on this turn, on the second one, right, where you have to go and kill, and then the revive kicks off and kill again using Death Ultimate. You don't have to on this new Escanor because his finger is a death card, right? So in that case, it's less RNG and more faster because you don't have to pull a card because you're already doing enough damage regardless to kill in the second. It works. So remember that these are all formulas and these all work in some sort of format. And again, remember also, Freyr has a Death Ultimate also, and he is very, very good for this. So if you have some sort of format where you can include Freyr, because you got and pulled Freyr, you can swap out any character for it. Realize though, you still need a Power Strike. So swapping out Melee may not be the best idea, because you kind of want to do that. And I don't think Freyr can really bypass too much here. He gives a buff, he does all of that, but nothing really allows him to beat on any stage like that. So keep it in mind that, again, if you have a Power Strike, if you have Amplify, if you have whatever, that will kind of help you. Some of these characters, can't really do too much. Yes, Magilda has a Power Strike ultimate. Yes, Escanor just does a lot of raw damage, so his ultimate will be pretty nuclear, but just keep that in mind that there's one more thing to know, that first stage requires it. That's why I think that Trader Melee is the best bet. So if you have that, I would run that. I think, again, as I showed you in the beginning, that is probably the optimal team now, and the best team you can format just for fast clears, and the fastest of clears. And again, also you can swap this out, right? So you can run Freyr here as your buff unit because his passive will buff you, right? It's the Blessing of Light or whatever like that. Yeah, applies Blessing of Light, which increases all allies' hero stats by 15% for 2 turns. And then if it's removed, applies by 5%. It's very strong, right? So if you don't have Gother, if you don't have Arthur, run this. It's a buffing card. He also does some damage. It's also an extra death ultimate you can have. This can also be considered an ideal team. There are so many different variations. Go run Unknown Team. There's Rem. Go run Rem. She would work out. You now have Nanashi's Relic. Try that out. See how that goes. There are so many different formats of teams you can run here. The bird should not be too hard. Now with some of the units that are released, it should be a little bit easier for you to go and clear through. If you can't get it done, remember also, gear is a big thing. Attack crit for everyone is how it's always going to go. For whoever you're running as the buffer, right? For example, how I do it is, with my Arthur, he will be a HP defense. If it was my Deanne, HP defense. If it's my Matrona, HP defense. Doesn't matter, right? For this type of team, it'll be attack right here. If it was Gother, when I run that, it'll be HP defense also. Whenever they're like just there to buff all and that's it, they don't do any damage per se, they don't need it. They need HP defense to stay alive, to keep the buffs going. And if they're a stance unit, they have to stay alive, otherwise they're gonna die. So you need HP defense. It depends on what team you're running, but it's always these three. Whoever your core attackers are, attack crit. Okay, so there you go. That's also the gear side of things, but that's what I also wanted to mention. Just put it out there. It's important, so write that down. Don't forget that. So before I leave here today, I want to at least leave you with some sort of gameplay. This was my speedrun thing. I'm gonna speed it up even more to where it's a lot faster, so you can just see it super quickly what it looks like. These runs are the best, okay? Gother will speed it up because of the relic. He'll speed it up because it's passive. All of that is pretty useful. But again, you don't need those things. To get a successful run on the bird, you need Magilda. You do need her relic. It would be pretty helpful. But you, again, to clear it the first time, to get the relic, you don't need it, obviously. You have to clear it regularly. So to do that, I would run a stance unit. Preferably Matrona. She's pretty good for this. You can then run again Magilda. You run Escanor, the new one or the old one. Trader Melee is pretty good because of the damage reduction and the fact that he will stack on this on his passive. But if you want to run Purg Melee, it should still work out. I don't think it's that bad. I do, again, stand at, my Purg Melee team being pretty fast. But Trader Melee is a damn great alternative and probably, again, better if you want to argue it. You can do that, right? So all are perfect options. If you have, like, the bird for the card set, get a good card set together. On the associations, Charm Link is super helpful. If you're dying constantly, put Charm Link on the character, mostly the stance character, that needs to remain on the field. That will keep you alive more often. Make sure you have UR gear, make sure all of that's set out, make sure you're fully awakened, your gear sets are maxed out. It will take you some time, so don't be like a new player, be like, oh, I can never do this. I have the team, but it's not working out. You have to have some good box CC. You got to have some good GB points activated. You got to have some good gear sets together, and then you'll be able to take on the bird and destroy it, okay? Again, I listed out a bunch of units here I'm going to go through on my account and tell you if there's anything that I left out. But again, Escanor, swap between the two Melies, swap between the two Escanors as mentioned. You can swap between Deanne and Matrona, Freyr, Magelda. You can use Demon Team. You can run Esterosa. That would kind of work also. I've seen a King format actually work. Personally, I don't know if I'd run that ever. We have also Green Arthur if you want to run that. Rem works on the bird. If you have one of those collab units, you can actually form some sort of a collaboration team. That would work out. Red Sariel does have Power Strike. More of an outdated unit, but it does work. I've seen Reinhardt works if you want to try and do that for fun or for some reason. That could also kind of check out. Again, as mentioned, Matrona Cusack also would work out. That's really kind of it, I would say. Maybe I'm missing some units here and there, but I think I kind of nailed it right down on the best ones to basically use. But yeah, you let me know what you think about that. Just want to make this really quick guide here. Some of the best teams, how to formulate some of the top teams, and what you kind of need to just strategize for the bird. It's super simple by now. A lot of people already can clear the bird and all of that. So hopefully it was helpful. With that being said, I'll catch the next one. Have one, stay safe. I'll let the gameplay end here. It's a long gameplay, so I've only talked for 2 minutes beyond this point. So I don't think it's going to end, but where it ends, that's it. Peace out. Enjoy. Again, also understand the gimmicks for the bird. Keep that in mind also. The first floor at the end of it has Power Strike. The second stage, basically, all you got to know is that second one will have a revive, so be able to kill. On that third stage of that second floor, you have to understand that you shouldn't do too much damage. You should just hit a little bit, proc one of the buffs, and then kill following that turn, okay? On the final floor, all you gotta do is stay alive as long as possible, make it to the end, understand which passive it has, and destroy it. That is literally the bird broken down in a super simple format. That's it, all right? So yeah, hopefully that was helpful. Thank you for watching. Adios.